wealth debate. The wealth debate. How are you? We're settling that wealth debate. If you wanted to build financial freedom, would you choose ETFs, or you don't even know what ETF is? Or would you choose real estate? Which one are you going to start with? Trust me, this is one of the questions I get every single day. And let's put that debate to rest today. Brits, welcome in. Answers, welcome in. How are you doing today? Because both of them can make you wealthy. Darlington, how are you? So good to have you. And you know how we get to do it. We tap out the live, we share out the live, we'll do the follow, we do all of that. Get your daily at me. Welcome in. And today, Dr. Fatima, how are you? Awesome. So good to see you on a Saturday. I just said I should pop up and just see everyone. Born to Shine, Phoenix, Farouk, Courage. Welcome everyone. Samantha, welcome in. And guess what the topic is? Guess. We are talking about ETFs or real estate. That debate that keeps coming up. ETFs or real estate, which of them should you invest in if you have to? Because both of them helps you to build wealth. But which one should you choose? Trust me, I get this every single day. Vin, welcome in. Glow Mama, welcome in. Ozain, welcome in. Wally, welcome in. How are you all doing? Happy Saturday. Welcome in each and every one of us. And we're talking about ETFs. We're talking about real estate. Which one helps you to build wealth? Which one should you start investing in? And that's what we want to talk about. And trust me, I get this question every single day. Happy Saturday. And we also have the opportunity to for free consultation, right? Where you can ask all of your questions away. Share out the live, tap out the live. You know the deal. Share out the live, tap out the live. Invite your friends. Energy, welcome in. Royce, welcome in. Makose, welcome in. SKN Meroro, welcome in. Thank you for tapping out the live. Let's tap out the live. We try to get to 10,000 taps within the first 10 minutes so that we can get more people in here through getting on the FYP. Bishop, welcome in. How are you all doing? So good to have you. So tonight we are settling a wealth debate. What is that debate? If you want to build financial freedom, understand Mayalistic, how are you? ASAP. Welcome in, right? If you have to build wealth, it has to be through certain ways. And my YouTube community, how are you all doing today? Welcome. Subscribe if you haven't done that. We're talking about that wealth debate that always come up, right? ETF or real estate, right? Just like we always say, rent versus buy, rent a house or buy a house, right? That is one of the major debates that we have. But today we're talking about ETF or real estate, and you're wondering, you don't even know what ETF is. We will talk about every one of those today. You will have an understanding better than a beginner investor, and you will get it. You start having an understanding because we'll talk about it for the next couple of minutes. So you want to stick around, you want to tap out the live, you want to share out the live, you want to follow, click the follow button, click the subscribe button if you have not done that, because you have so many values that you're going to get out of here. If your goal is to build wealth, as a matter of fact, this community is called the $1 Million League. So if you want to be part of the millionaires, you want to get to that $1 million status, then you want to click the follow button, click the subscribe button. Maris, welcome. How are you? Lumi, welcome in. Lizzie, Elizabeth, Tubet, welcome in. Afia, welcome in. Tap out the live, share out the live. Usman, let's tap out the live, let's share out the live, subscribe, follow. All right, would you choose ETF or would you choose real estate to start building wealth? Because both of them can actually build wealth. If all that you do with your income right now is to just pay bills and just, fund depreciating lifestyle liability, unfortunately, you are not building wealth. Yeah, you will pay the bills, but you will not build wealth. How then do you build wealth? Two of the major tools that helps you to build wealth is, one is ETF, two is real estate. How do I know? Because if you take another gadget right now, another phone or another laptop or your iPad, go on Google and check, where does the multimillionaire and the billionaires, where do they put their money? And you would see Closer, welcome. Emeka, welcome. With Rebecca, welcome. Big Zach, welcome. Sydney, welcome. And let's tap out the live. Let's share the live. Click the follow button. Click the subscribe button if you have not done that. Welcome to the party. And click the follow button right there. GT, welcome in. We're talking about ETF or real estate. So if you take another gadget, right, and just go on Google or ChatGPT and check, where does the multi-millionaire put their money? Remember, I did not say millionaire. I said multi-millionaire. Oh, with Rebecca, welcome to the $1 million family. Welcome. Thank you so much for the follow. Right? If you go on Google right now and just check, where does the multi-millionaire, emphasis on multi-millionaires and billionaires, where do they put their money? You would see one thing. Bayobi, welcome in. Sydney, welcome in. Benga, welcome in. You would see one thing that you would see that is going to be pretty common. It will be, the first thing is cash and cash equivalent, which is going to be their emergency fund. Two will be, the number two will be either real estate, depending on where you're checking. And three will be, what's it called? The three will be ETF or index fund. Hey, Emeka, welcome to the $1 Million League. Thank you so much for the follow, and thank you all. Click the follow button. You want to be a part of the $1 Million League. You want to be part of the millionaires. Click the follow button, tap out the live, get your daily at me, and of course, share out the live and invite your friends so that they can also be part of the $1 Million family. So welcome here, and we build wealth right here through different strategies that we talk about. Here is about real, it's serious business. Here is about we're building wealth, following a wealth building curriculum. So step by step, we'll have 4 pillars of wealth creation. If you follow that steps, of course, you're going to get to that $1 million status. That's what we are building here, right? You are within the community of people that support you to get to that status. The only thing is that you have to be coachable, you have to execute the steps, and of course, you have to allow time, because this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is about this is not a get rich quick. This is about patience, cash flow, steady, not hypes, not get rich quick scheme. This is not what we're doing. We're talking about generational wealth. Build wealth the right way. So if you love this already, tap out the live, follow the live. Yay! Tiny also just joined the $1 Million League. Awesome. Welcome to the party. And for my YouTube community on the other side, subscribe if you haven't done that, because you want to also be a part of the $1 Million League, right? We have a whole wealth building curriculum that is going to help you get there. As a matter of fact, next month we have a whole few hours dedicated for you to start increasing your income, how to increase your income to get to that 6-figure income. If you have not gotten there, we are bringing professional from every walk of life. As a matter of fact, like 3 to 4 different doctors of different categories, like HR, doctor from AI, doctor from medicine, doctor from nursing. All of those, they're coming in to come and teach us how to learn, how to increase your income. And of course, we'll also teach you the $5,000 side hustle that you can do aside from your income, basically. Yeah, so let's talk about it. So because one of the ways that we talk about here, it starts with your income. Remember, income. And one of the things to be part of that $1 Million League is we try to push you to that, to increase your income, because it starts with your income. So think about it, it's like whenever you want to build a house, right? Wealth building is like building a house. That's what it is. It is building a house. What does this mean? It means that you will lay a foundation, you put the bricks on it, then you put the roofing on it. It's impossible to lay the roof without the foundation, without the pillars. And if you put the pillars without the foundation, it's going to crumble. So you have to be very intentional. I always say that building wealth requires intentionality, right? It requires intentionality. So now let's talk about it. One of the pillars, right? Because today we're not talking about the foundation. Today we're talking about the pillars. 2 of the pillars that that are very, very crucial in the wealth building journey. It's real estate, and ETF. ETF, you're wondering, you're just new to investing, or you are just hearing this for the first time. Let's tap out the life. Let's tap out the life. Let's tap out the life. Let's share out the life. If you want to know the two pillars, you want to understand ETF, you want to understand real estate, tap out the life, share out the life, tap out the life, share out the life. So good to have each and every one of us. Dr. Fatima, Emeka, Global Goodness, Mayalistic, Biobi, Jew. So good to have everyone connecting with me. This Saturday is just so good on a Saturday afternoon. And if you're wondering how to tap, and this is not for the YouTube community, this is for the TikTok community. It's just touch, non-stop, right? Just keep doing it non-stop. Share out the life. Just press my forehead on the screen and you'll see your contact come down. You would see share with all of them. That is you giving back to them and blessing them. Everybody wants wealth, right? Either the peace wealth, time wealth, money wealth, and of course the peace wealth. Everyone is chasing that. So let them come and even learn. Maybe they don't even know. Maybe they equate wealth to money. Invite them over, share out the life, tap out the life, get your daily admin, click the follow button if you have not done that. And my YouTube community, click the subscribe button, right? Click the subscribe button and let me know where you're connecting from right there, right now. Emeka, thank you so much for tapping out the life, and everyone that has joined. So good to have you these Saturday afternoons. So if you want to build financial freedom, because financial freedom is the goal, right? That's the goal. Income is here. There is always this gap. ETF and real estate is one of the two of the major tools that helps you bridge the gap between that income to get to financial freedom. Because even if you are making so much money, so far you are trading your time for money. You are trading your time for money. What you'd realize is that you keep working. So far you work, you make money, you trade your time for money, and that is not financial freedom. Financial freedom simply means your ability to live life at your own terms. You're not working, but you have funds that is able to take care of you regardless of if you are there or not, right? And that's where everybody wants to get into, right? ETF and real estate is one of the major tools. Dr. Ovia, welcome. Chaz, Ike, welcome. Maria, welcome. Adolf, welcome. Let's tap out the life. Let's share out the life. And we're talking about ETF or real estate. Biopi, thank you for tapping out the life. Let's do that. Consider. Let's get it to 1,000. Then from there, 5,000 to 10,000. Hello, Hunter. How are you? Welcome in. Right. So thank you so much for doing that. So ETF and real estate. ETF and real estate. ETF is simply me. Let's start with ETF. ETF is my second pillar. Pillar number one is income. Two is ETF, which is smart investing, right? Just keep it simple. What is ETF? ETF is basically basket of stocks. It is exchange traded funds, basket of stocks, right? So instead of you buying individual stocks, you are buying basket of stocks, different stocks inside one basket. What does that? Why should you buy one stock versus basket of stock, right? That's the next question. Why should I buy? I mean, we all know that, you see the stock, you like the stock, because of that, all right, you like the stock for so whatsoever reason, maybe you heard it from somewhere or you walked there or whatever, right? Because of that, you bought the stock. Now, the risk with that is you could lose your entire stock, because the stock might go down. The risk is high, right? The risk is high, so could also be the return. So think about the people that bought the Apple IPO, people that bought Amazon IPO, but there's so many other companies that have also gone down. Think of people that bought BlackBerry, right? They bought it at $200 and something, but maybe right now it's at $5. That is what can happen with individual stocks. But with ETF, right, with ETF, you're buying multiple stocks. What does that help you to do? It helps you to hedge against inflation. And it helps you to hedge against risk, right? Think about it. You can lose all your money with just investing in one stock. But if you have multiple stocks, right, inside one basket, what that is going to happen is that if one stock goes down, you have the other thing, another stock that is supporting you. That is what ETF, that is the story behind ETF, right? It's almost like you saying that I don't lose my money, even though I do not gain so much, like it doesn't become 100% overnight, but it is, I know that my money is safe because it's a better version compared to you leaving your money in a bank account. If you leave your money in a bank account, as a matter of fact, that is the worst thing that you can do to your money. You might think that, oh, it is safe, but you are losing it to inflation. There's something called inflation, the rate at which money loses value, right? That's inflation, right? And it is even most countries put it at 2%. At the minimum, put 2%. It means that your money is losing its value at 2. Right now in the United States, it's 3.8%. In some foreign countries, in some other countries, in Africa, you would see that the inflation is at double digits. It means that your money, like you have $100, that means you are losing 3.8% of that $100. So that means it is worth $96.30 or 20 cents. That's what you are just saying. Even though you think it's $100, it simply means that if you take this money to the bank, right, it means that this is what you are going to get with it, right? So once you understand that, to be able to hedge against that inflation, and first of all, you know that the money is not going to grow. As a matter of fact, if you put your money in the bank, for it to double, it's going to take 144 years using the compound interest calculator, because you're getting 0.01% on your money. But then guess what is happening? You're getting 0.01%. That is $1 on every 10,000 for a whole year. So instead of you saying that you're investing, and of course you are losing it to inflation as well. So it's not the fact that it's not even, you're not getting $10,000 back. That's not what you're getting. You're getting less than 10,000 if you put it in the bank. But if you use ETF, what that is going to help you is that we know that in the stock market, the risk is very high, right? This risk is there. It's not like but the risk is there, the risk of losing money. I personally lost $99,000 in the stock market about 6 years ago. I couldn't open Fidelity investment account. Daughter, why? Is there a reason? Call the customer service. You should be able to open it. And if you cannot open it, open Robinhood, right? Open Robinhood if you cannot open it, all right? So I hope that answers your question, daughter of Yahweh. But call them, customer service. They would be able to help you. Thank you so much for the daily admin magnet. And check if you have not clicked on the follow button and you've been sitting, you love this. Click on the follow button, click on the subscribe button. Cost you nothing, but you have so many things to gain. You want to get to that $1 million status, MDL, this is that community, because we help you to get to that journey. The magnetic woman, welcome to the party, and thank you for the daily admin. So good to have you. So we're talking about ETF, right? Which is ETF and real estate, the two tools. Which one should you invest in? But let's even understand what ETF is. It's a basket of stocks. So think about it. Instead of you saying you are buying just Apple can go down. There can be vulnerabilities. There can be, for whatever reason, it happened to BlackBerry, right? It can also happen to Apple. But if you buy basket of funds, where you buy, you have not just Apple, you have Nvidia, you have Coca-Cola, you have Exxon, which is oil, you have gold, you have all of this in one basket, right? Of funds. What happens to you? You realize that even if one sector goes down, if one company goes down, you are still protected. You cannot lose your money. Why? Let's give you an example. How can I confirm this, or why did I say this? Think about it. There's something called S&P 500. That's an example. That's one, even though it's pretty popular, right? That is one type of ETF, because ETF, like I said, is a fund that contains so many stocks. So it could be a stock of 1,000. It could be a stock of 500. It could be a stock of all energy stocks. It could be a stock of beauty and supplies, basically. It could be a stock of anything, shipping, logistics, yeah. Oh, yeah. So basically, it's a basket of stocks. Basically, that's what it is. Now, S&P 500, it's very popular because we're talking about the top 500 companies in the United States. And I always talk about this because it's very popular, and this is where I always tell people, you're a beginner investor, you don't know how to get started with investing, start with that. Right? Start with that. Don't pick and choose. It's as if it's already been worked for you. It's just for you to just buy it and keep it, right? And let compounding do the job. Why do I say this? Because with S&P 500, it has returned between 14 to 15. Oh, beginner here. Oh, perfect. You're just in the right place, right? You're just in the right place. Magnetic. Awesome. Great. And I believe that you are followed because you are now a part of the $1 million community, $1 million league, the League of Millionaires, right? That's we're building a community of millionaires where everybody in that community, you are a millionaire in the space of 10 years versus 45 years and never get there. That is what we are building here. So if you want to be a part of that, follow and click the button, share, tap out the live, and subscribe. Do everything you have to do just to become part of that community, because it's an all holistic community, all-round community whereby everybody will building the wealth the right way. That's what we're basically doing, building wealth the right way. All right, Nana, welcome in. Man, welcome in. All right, so ETF, like I said, think about it. We have so how do you get started? Like I said, it's a basket of stocks, and I talked about S&P 500 as a very popular one. At the beginning, just start from here. And as a matter of fact, I would give you three. If you want me to give you the top three that I talk about, you put three in the comment, and I would share it with you, and you can start. You can just start with that and just leave it at that for another few months until you get comfortable with investing. Put three. Okay, Magnetic said three. Any other person wants to know, put three in the comment. Perfect. And I'll tell you the step by step. So today is the lucky day. Today is a lucky day. It's a beautiful, beautiful Saturday. Awesome. Okay, Daughter of Yahweh wants to know as well. Okay, three. All right, perfect. Prophet Justice, welcome in. So let's share the life so that you are blessing some more people. If you are Go Popular, do Go Popular, get your daily at me, or do all of that, just so we can get the algorithm to know that we are finding this valuable, and at the same time, you are blessing some more people, because more people will come and learn about ETF. They can start doing their own, start investing, right? A lot of beginners out there that are not growing their money, they are way out there. So let's share the life. Press my forehead, share out the life, and I would also do that as well as I speak right now, so that I can. This is not my normal time. My normal time, I'm either here at 8 p.m. Central Time, or I'm here at 12, between 12:30. So let me just share out with my people, with everyone as well, so they know that I am here. And since we were talking about those three today. Yeah, so let's share that. Share as well. I'm power sharing, and let's power tap as well. Let's power tap. Let's power share. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let's do that. Okay, perfect. Let me. Yeah, I am just still learning this button thing, and it's just, yeah. Let's power share. Thank you so much for doing that. Get your daily admin, click the follow button if you haven't done that. Use this time, because the class will soon be in session shortly. Class will soon be in session. All right, class will soon be in session. Class will soon be in session. And we're talking about ETF and real estate. Which one should you start with first? ETF or real estate? Which one is going to help you grow wealth? Awesome. And I've just done that power sharing on my end as well. Thank you for tapping out the live. All right. So great. So when we say ETF, right? When we say ETF, we talked about the basket, right? So S&P 500 is one, right? The first one, S&P. And if anybody can put it in the comment, S&P 500, and I'll give the name of the S&P 500. As a matter of fact, S&P 500, VOO, IVV, and SPY. All of them are, they all track the S&P 500. Somebody somebody help me put it in the comment? S&P 500, IVV, SPY, VOO, right? So that I can pin it right there. And then the person will also get to connect with that person as well. We also try to connect with the person, because we're pinning the person for a minute. IVV, SPY, VOO. IVV, SPY, VOO. Those are the ticket symbol for the S&P 500. So that is going to be number one, right? Number one, IVV, SPY, VOO, right? Those three, those will be number one. And let's keep tapping out the light. So why do I like S&P 500? Because it has returned between 14 to 15%, right, in the past 10 years, averagely. So it means that if you had put your money, right, in the past 10 years, it be increasing by 14% every single year. It would have gone up by 14% every single year in and year out. That's what it would have done. Now, also think about it. If and that's what compounding. Remember, it's going to be 14%, right? 14 to 15% is what it has returned for the past 10 years. Now, last year it returned 18%. So it simply means that you're not just edging against inflation, you are also growing your money. That's how you grow your money. And it is one beautiful thing about ETF, right? One beautiful thing about ETF is so easy to start, right? You can, on Monday morning, you can simply open the account and fund the account, and of course, make your first purchase, set up automation one time, and you are done with it, and never touch it again. Every single paycheck, if you set up automation, every single paycheck, you realize that your money is you're just going to be checking it every 6 months or every 1 year, and you say, oh, my money is growing, right? That's what happens. And as a matter of fact, that's part of the strategies that we talk about in the $1 Million League, right? That's part of the strategy, because we encourage long-term investing, right? Magnetic, yeah, IVV, SPY, and VOO, right? VOO, IVV, SPY. Yeah, you try it. IVV, SPY, VOO, right? IVV, SPY, VOO, right? S&P 500 is all of that, right? All of that, right? The difference between all of these three is who is the fund manager. IVV is managed by BlackRock. That is the fund manager. The brokerage firm that manages IVV is BlackRock. The fund manager that manages SPY is State Street, right? State Street. And the one that manages VOO is Vanguard, right? Now, that's how you get, and they have returned, as a matter of fact, they all returned almost about the same thing last year. They returned the same thing last year. So this is a place where you put your money, because it has the trend. As a matter of fact, for the past 30 to 40 years, it has returned 8 to 12%. So what does this mean? Even through COVID, even 2008, right? All of those crash and all of that is still, for the people that left their money over time, they still made their money, right? They still made averagely. It means at the lower end of their spectrum, 8% for the past 50 years. And there are times when it's like 32%. There's a time when it's way higher than that. But then there are times when it's also 4%, 3%. Remember, it's an average. That's why we encourage long-term investing. So it helps you. It is so easy. It is so easy to get started. So how do you now get started with ETF? Now that we understand what ETF is, how you get started is you open a brokerage account, right? You open a brokerage account, S&P 500, yes. You open a brokerage account. And let's tap out the live. Let's share the live and tap out the live. And I'm trying to pin this. It wouldn't allow me. All right. So, Mompreneur, welcome in. So, think about it. So, you start with your opening of your fund account. That's the first thing. Your fund account, which is your brokerage account. So, if you're in the US, there is the Vanguard, there's the Fidelity, there's the Schwab's, there is Webull, there is Robinhood, there is Ameritrade, there is Merrill Lynch, there is JP Morgan. Those are all brokerage firms that you can open. You can just simply check the one that works with you. Tammy, welcome in. How are you? You just check the one that works with you and you open your account right there. Mompreneur, how are you? Yeah. You open Acorn, exactly. You can open anyone. If you're in Canada, there's Simple, there is Questrade, right? And then in Europe, there is Trading 212, right? That you can actually open, or just simply go on Google and check. in Nigeria, in Africa, right? I'm Nigerian American, so you can see that, okay, Nigeria, Africa, which is, I mean, Africa is one, right? So you would have Stanbic IBTC, you'd have Investment One, you have Bamboo. Those are brokerage firms that you can open, right? When you open this, that's the first step in your investing. So number one, open your account. Okay, number one is account opening. If anybody can put it in there, account opening. If you want to take the steps, number one is you to open your brokerage account. That's the first step. Number two is you would fund the account, right? You're going to fund the account. How do you fund the account? You are going to basically, whatever account where your money is, your bank account, you can either transfer the money into the brokerage account, or you can, you can connect it directly where you just fund it, and that you do a recurring deposit there. As a matter of fact, I encourage automation, right? I encourage automation. Automation will help you build, consistency. It's going to help you build discipline. As a matter of fact, if you start putting $100 every single month, right, for from the age of 20, right, you get to over $1 million status. Over, that is, you just put in $1,200 every single year, you would have over $1 million. Even though whatever you put in there is maybe like 100,000 at the end of the day. That's how you build wealth. Can you help you with the list of brokerage accounts, please? So the list of brokerage accounts, again, in the US, we have Robinhood, we have Webull, we have Fidelity, we have Schwab's, we have Vanguard, we have Ameritrade, we have Acorn, we have there's so many of them. So there's so many of them. Yeah, that's for the US. But in Canada, there's Square Street, there is Wealth Simple. In the UK, there's Trading 212. In Nigeria, there is Bamboo, right? There is Investment One. There's so many of them, Stanbic IBTC, right there. And let's keep tapping out the live. Let's get it to 10,000. And also, let's share out the live. Invite our friend. Gomez Munez, welcome in. Baby, welcome in. How are you all doing today? Welcome. And we're talking about ETFs and real estate. Both of them helps you to build wealth. But which one, right, builds wealth faster? Which one, how do you start it? Which one should you choose, right? Kristen, welcome in. All right. So, having said that, the first thing, open that account. Number two is fund the account, because, and by the way, gone are the days where you say, oh, you know what, I don't have money to invest. Now with $1 you can invest. There's something called fractional shares. Remember, ETF is almost like shares. If you understand the story about shares, that's the same thing. Let's not to make it overly complicated, right? The only thing is that whenever you are buying it, you will see it, either they'll say stock or ETF. Which one are you buying? Hey, developer Wale, welcome in, right? He's going to ask you, which one are you buying, stock or ETF, right? And then you choose which one. ETF, right? If you're saying ETF, because you're saying that basically what that means is that is either I'm buying one stock or I'm buying multiple stocks. Basically, I am buying one, or I am buying a bouquet, or I'm buying a basket, a whole basket or one. Basically, that's what you're doing. And in your basket, you are having so many things inside, so many of those shares inside. Even though you're spending $1 or $100 or $100,000, it's a whole basket. Let's tap out the live. Can we tap out the live? Let's share the live. Thank you so much for doing that. Awesome. So one beautiful thing about so once you open the account, right? Once you open the account, you fund the account with whatever amount that you want to put in, right? And then you can start buying. The next thing is for you to buy your S&P 500. That's the first ETF that I will tell you, which is the IVV, SPY, VOO. Any of those three works. Now, right there. Another one that you can also buy is, you can buy SCHD. That is dividend. So if you want cash flow, Dividend simply means that you're having profit sharing, even though the stock is going, but then every single month when they make profit or quarter, every single the companies are going to share profit with you, right? Those are the top 100 dividend paying companies. That is what is called SCHD, right? SCHD is the ticker symbol. Another one that you can invest in is QQQ or QQQM. That is the top technology companies. So companies like Microsoft, Nvidia, right? Google, you would find those in that basket, right? Inside that basket of ETF. Queen of Boys, welcome in, and everyone that is joining. Let's tap out the live, share out the live. Daughter of Yahweh by Yobi Gomez, developer Wale Mayalistic. Everybody, how are you, user? Let's tap out the live. Moving silence, welcome in. Thank you all for tapping out the live, sharing out the live. Yeah. So automation. So having said that, once you fund the account, utilize automation, right? Automation is going to help you whenever, because once you set it up once, right? Like daughter of Yahweh that says she's struggling, right, with opening the account, right? I know that it might become frustrating for you that, okay, I don't even want to go back there. So once you get a hold of it and you're able to do it, yes, good afternoon, moving silence, welcome, Wayne, and thank you for tapping out the light, right? So once you have the account open, also set it up that, okay, every single paycheck, right, you are paying yourself. Every single paycheck you're paying yourself, which is, you know what, I'm going to pay myself $50 every month, right? Every paycheck, or I pay myself $100 every paycheck. And what does that mean is that every paycheck, as you are paying your taxes, you are also funding the account. When you fund the account, it's automatically going to be buying the stocks, right? It's going to be buying the stocks for you. And thank you all for tapping out the live. Let's tap out the live. Can we get it to 5,000? Can we power tap and get it to 5,000? Then from there, get it to 10,000. And for my YouTube community, can we subscribe? Subscribe to the $1 Million Community. And if you have not clicked the follow button, right, you want to join, you want to be a part of the $1 Million Community, because here we are building a league of millionaires. So if your goal is to get to that $1 Million status, then you're in the right place. We have 4 pillars or 4 strategies that we'd use, right? This is not get rich quick scheme. The only thing is that you have to be coachable. You have to be ready, right? It doesn't come, you want to do what people are doing in 40 years. You want to do 40 years and never get there. You're trying to do it in 10 years. So it means that you have to be ready to do the work that is required. You have to delay the gratification, right? So that you can start investing heavily, and then you are able to gain your financial freedom in 10 years or less, right? So once you fund the account, start buying the stocks, right? You start buying the stocks. That's what you start doing. You start buying the stocks. Stock in this case is ETF. So I've given 3, right? I've given the 3 that you're buying, right? The S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100, and of course the dividend paying ETF, right? So that's the beauty. See, and that's it. Set the automation and see your money grow. Smile to the bank and find yourself in that $1 Million status, over the years, right? That is the strategy when it comes to ETF. You don't need to touch it. It is very, very passive. You do it one time. It doesn't require your time. Antonia, welcome in. Thank you for the, thank you so much. Welcome, Ladvisi. Congratulations, and welcome to the family of millionaires. Welcome. Yeah, the colony, welcome in. How are you doing? And thank you so much for the daily at me. Welcome. So, thing about it is, like I said again, for those that are just joining, you have, number 1, you do have to open the account. 2 is fund the account. 3 is make sure you make the purchase, because that's where people make that mistake. People would typically think that, oh, I found the account and it's automatically invested. No, you have to go there and buy the assets or the ETFs that you want to buy, right? Which I've given 3 already, right? If you want more, we have a whole smart investing, course that's going to help you, that you can find in my bio, nestu.me / Money Talk with Dr. Lina. You would see it right there in my bio. Click on it and you'll find it right there. It's a course that is going to help you in here. When you open the account, where you open the account, and this is for, can we power share so that I don't have to repeat this again? Let's power share. Let's invite everyone again one more time. Power share, meaning press my forehead on the screen, let your contacts come and you share with them. Tap out the live, you would see the numbers changes. You see more people in here, and then so that we can talk about it. What is your name on YouTube? My name on YouTube is Money Talk with Dr. Lina. That's a good question. The same thing. I'm Money Talk with Dr. Lina here. I'm Money Talk with Dr. Lina on YouTube. I'm Money Talk with Dr. Lina on Instagram. I even have a much larger community on Instagram. Yeah, so you want to just be a part of the community all around. And as a matter of fact, since you asked that question, if you have specific question, I do have a